The mystery has been solved. It is not a massive purple one. Well, that is, obviously. But I'm talking about the sweets. They're numerous. There's loads there's lots of different ones. And I've done quite well. I have only eaten 4 or 5, I think. There we go. Not done badly at all. Anyway, you didn't tune in to hear me talk about my massive purple what's it. No, not at all. This is all about centre-halves. A couple in particular. We'll see where we go with it. Balbuena's contract is a massive elephant in the room. And, of course, I think it's worth touching on Angelo Ogbonna's situation as well. Because, as Gio said, if they were going to engrave the Hammer of the Year trophy now, the Hottie trophy, then Angelo Ogbonna's name would be the one that would get it. I'm sure we would. Antonio would have been a good shout for it. However, injuries and all the rest of it. But it's Ogbonna's there for the taking, basically. And very much at West Ham, it's a case of who partners Ogbonna. Well, I think bearing in mind we're playing with 3 centre halves, I think it's a massive kick in the purple ones, so to speak, if you're a centre half and you don't get to play in that one, because there's room there for 3. I do wonder, and it's working, I'm talking about Aaron Cresswell, by the way, I do wonder what the other centre halves think when there's basically a left back playing at left centre half. A penny for Issa Diop stores. But that's at the moment, those are Issa Diop stores. It wasn't that long ago that they were Fabián Balbuena stores. How would he get into the team? How has it all gone so sour for him? And as I understand it, I don't know about the option, I'll be honest with you. How would we know? Unless it's leaked, we don't know. But as I understand it, Fabián Balbuena's contract is up at the end of this season. We're going to need to get that sorted, and we need to get it sorted very, very quickly. I was just scrolling down on the computer, West Ham's results. And I went all the way back to the FA Cup 4th round on the 25th of January, 2020. Seems like a long time ago, but we've had massive gaps in football there. We got beaten by West Brom. 10-man West Brom, by the way, if you remember. Fabián Balbuena was awful. He was horrendous. And that was pretty much it for him. I'll say a year. It's almost a year. 11 months. Of course, let's round it up. Let's call 11 months a year. It's a long old time. And it was a horrendous performance. When we did the match review the other day against Leeds, I thought Haller's performance was as bad as I'd seen since Balbuena's again there. But if Haller can do anything, it's take some hope from Balbuena, because that was it. I think I was pretty sure at that particular point, David Moyes decided this guy is no good for me. Then things happened. David Moyes didn't use him. And then we played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, 6 games, finished with Arsenal. He didn't feature. Then lockdown. The rest is history. We come back again. We play Wolves. Then we play Tottenham. We beat Chelsea. We get on to the end of the season. Fabián Balbuena does not feature. He is not part of David Moyes' plans at all. And he only got his chance because Issa Diop this season got COVID-19. Because he didn't start this season. Balbuena got his chance. He was playing in the cup matches, but we discussed this yesterday. David Moyes was not taking the cup matches seriously at all. What happened at Everton was, I spoke about it yesterday, no point repeating myself. So for Balbuena to fight his way back shows massive courage, massive belief in himself. Say courage, stretching it a bit. Courage. He didn't fight his way in for sword or anything, did he? But it shows massive belief in himself. And I've got to give David Moyes a lot of credit here, because I think managers are stubborn. Well, no, everyone's stubborn. People are stubborn. I'm stubborn, right? And for David Moyes to clearly decided that he didn't really fancy a player, and then I would imagine he was probably reluctant to put him in the team at that point. When Diop got COVID, he probably thought, oh, crikey, I've got to put this donkey back in the team, this Balbuena lad. Put him in, and fair play to Moyes. He's obviously said something to him, which is like, you perform, you do well, you keep the shirt. And he's been true to his word. Because I do believe, actually, that Moyes liked Diop more than he liked Balbuena. And now it's Diop that's in the disadvantaged position, certainly. So now we look at what David Moyes was wanting to spend on a centre-half in the transfer window. And it looked like 30-odd million. Did we bid 30, 32 million? I think we started at 27 for Tarkowski. Went up to 27 and a penny. Then 27 million and tuppence. And, we went up, didn't we? I think we got to 32 million, something like that. That's what David Moyes was prepared to pay for a centre-half. We know David Moyes likes Taletazar from Marseille. 25, 26 million. I believe we had the fee agreed. The player didn't want to come. He wanted to stay with Marseille, play Champions League football. Fair enough. Can't blame the guy. And then there was it Fofana? I think Fofana was the guy's name. He ended up at Leicester. Was he at St Etienne? I think possibly. Again, it was 20 to 30 million. I know that's quite a broad. I've not narrowed it down there. Somewhere. But what I'm saying is, David Moyes was willing to spend and wanted to spend in excess of 20 million on centre-half. That tells us that the centre-halves that David Moyes likes are expensive. So if we let Fabián Balbuena's contract run down, what's he going to do? Extend Dawson's loan, make it permanent? No, he's not. He's going to be going out in the market to try and secure a centre-half, and he's got expensive taste. That's what I misses when you take her to the shops. He's got expensive taste. He wants to spend 20-odd million. It ain't worth it. And we don't need to. And this is why it's extremely important to get Balbuena's contract and get it done and get him tied down and get it done now. Because he's reinvented himself. And I think he's really good. I'm not going to say he's brilliant. It's not Virgil van Dijk. But I think he's good enough for West Ham. I think he suits David Moyes' system. Sometimes it's a bit tough when you're playing next to somebody like Ogbonna, who, by and large, if you watch our Patreon series on our player ratings, Ogbonna generally scores higher. But I think you'll find the last few games, Balbuena's got 7, 8 out of 10, stuff like that. Good player, solid player. It's a no-brainer, really. As for his defensive partner, Angelo Ogbonna, I often say he's like a fine wine, but I don't like wine, but I like chocolate, plenty. Like salt and vinegar Pringles. Don't like wine, don't drink wine, but I like the analogy. I do, even though I don't drink wine, I understand the concept that it gets better with age, unless it's corked, apparently. I don't know. I think there's a number of reasons why Ogbonna gets better, but I do think there's a really good factor in it, and why he is possibly playing at his best form for West Ham. Now, when Ogbonna came in, Ogbonna wasn't even a guaranteed starter. Ogbonna would find himself in and out of the team. I would say Ogbonna was a patchy player, certainly. He wasn't the governor. He wasn't the first name on the team sheet. He wasn't anywhere near being talked about for Hammer of the Year. I tell you what, he could have won it last year. He's really good. This is consistency. He's one of the 3 or 4 players you would worry about in the team if he wasn't available. Because whilst I think we can lose Diop, whilst I think we can lose, there's a few players we can lose throughout the team and throughout the defence, the one player you wouldn't want to lose out that defence would be him. Full back, you put Fredericks in there, left back. Well, we're dealing with left back at the moment. Different things are happening. Ogbonna, not a chance. And one of the reasons I think that he's doing so well is because he has a manager that suits his style of play. I think they just fit. That was a terrible David Brent, wasn't it? But I think David Moyes and Balbuena just fit. I really do. Because this is a player who was schooled at Juventus, Italian international. These are uncompromising, no-nonsense defenders and very, very tactical. They spend a lot of the time defending, spend a lot of the time working on the defence, and are very, very well drilled. It's a cliche. It's a cliche that is what happens in Italy. And I look at it now and I think, well, they probably speak the same language. That is funny. I'd imagine they don't speak the same language at all. I often wonder, actually, how, because he's got quite a broad Scottish accent, hasn't he, David Moyes? I do often wonder what a lot of the foreign players, some of them have pidgin English. Ogbonna's English ain't bad, by the way. I do often wonder, thinking, yeah, Yes, Gaffer. Yes. What did he just say? I often think they don't know. But in football terms, I think Ogbonna and David Moyes certainly speak the same language. I think probably David Moyes is drilling a lot of the habits into the team that Ogbonna is used to. These are probably training techniques and training methods that are very, very familiar to Angelo Ogbonna. And that's why I think we're seeing his best form, because he is at home in the team tactically. Now, we're not always defending. Sometimes we go and have a nice attack. We do. But I do think that the recent, we call it success, comparative success, let's say, but the upturn in form of West Ham in recent times has been based on a solid defence. I really do. Ogbonna's a massive part of that, but I just think everybody knows what they're doing. And as a partnership, if you want to call that, Balbuena and Ogbonna, they're really good. It would cost a fortune for David Moyes to replace either one of them. I think Ogbonna, I look at him and I don't worry about his legs. Obviously he needs some, but I don't worry that, is he age and he's getting older. His positional sense is so good. I don't think he's the fastest player in the world anyway, but you know me, I don't think anybody's particularly. Usain Bolt's not as quick as he looks. But I do think that there's no need to rush in to buy anybody. These guys do the job. And that's entirely why I do think that David Moyes has looked at it and David Moyes has thought, actually, do you know what? I will spend this money on Benrahma. I actually think it was the form of Ogbonna, and I think it was Balbuena getting back into the team and Balbuena looking like he might be a player that made David Moyes think, actually, I don't need to do this. The team are performing. Not just Balbuena, the whole defence as a unit. The team performing, they're not conceding. That was his biggest worry. If you remember at the start of the season, I was saying, look, we can score goals, we've got to stop them going in. Well, actually, he made that happen without having to spend the 20, 30 million pound on a defender. Long may it continue. I am aware that I upload this on match day and we're about to play Crystal Palace and we could be on the end of a dumping. But it doesn't matter. Just like when you win, one swallow doesn't make a summer. Even if we were to lose and concede a few goals, it doesn't make the defence bad. I'm saying we will. I don't even know what I'm saying, quite frankly. But what I do know is Fabián Balbuena, the general, deserves a new contract. And I would like us to get it sorted now. We paid 4 odd million for that player. And there's no way we're getting a comparable player for 4 million now. We had a little look, we had a little sniff at Joe Rodham from the Championship, who is an excellent player. But even a young player like that, you're still looking, an unproven, untested player in the Premier League, you're still looking at 15 million quid. And we all know David Moyes' taste is a little bit more expensive than that. So keep the centre-backs as they are, give them the contracts, and whatever money you've got, go and spend it on a striker.